Guys, welcome to another Title Tuesday recap. I played another late event on February 4, and as opposed to showing you the full games from each round, it took so long, I didn't see a lot of support on this. I'll be showing you crucial positions from each round, and let's start with the first one. In the following position, I would like you to think, is there a way to win for black pieces? And if you answered yes, you're probably wrong, because according to table base, which is like database of endgame positions, according to this table base, this position is 100% a draw. So I was trying to find something. I played bishop h6, but of course I can't play e4 because why just take? It's opposite card bishops. It is simply a draw. So I kind of started looking at plan with king c5. So I want to push e4 at some point. And one of the ideas is to play bishop b6. And then, if let's say bishop g6 is played, which is, a wrong idea, king f3 is apparently better. But it's very easy to make bishop g6 move. You're just simply waiting. But the point is now king d6 wins the game. And if bishop h7, you go king s7. And now the point is, if bishop g8 attacks pawn on d5, you'll play e4 and then come back with a king. And now you'll be able to actually convert it. So, but there is like an easy way to kind of hold this. Again, king f3 is something that is not really tough to find. King c4, king f3, and apparently, let's say after d4, it is simply a draw because king e2, and there is no way to make any progress with this pawns as these squares are taken. Basically, king d5, king comes back to d3, and white make an easy draw. So I started the event with a draw, and now let's get to round number 2. In round number 2, I was facing, again, a lower rated candidate master, and in the following position, in an equal position, as you might see by looking at the bar, he played rook d6, and that's what I kind of planned before he even played it, because my last move was queen f2. I was setting up this queen f6, and according to computer, the best move is actually, it's not so easy to find. You have to play rook e4, and the point is after queen f6, king h6, it turns out the king is actually safe on h6, and it is a draw. But instead, my opponents tried to defend pawn by playing rook d6, and now I want you to find, as you might actually see, it's +2 advantage, so I want you to find the winning move in the following position. First of all, I can just capture pawn on a7 and it's still probably winning, but there is a much better move, and I hope you found it. It's e5. And the point is now that I'm threatening to take on f6 and I'm threatening this rook, and if pawn takes, it's queen f8, checkmate. So the game continued rook e6, I took on f6, king g8, f7, king f8, queen c5, now it is a check, queen d6, queen c8, and my opponent resigned. Good start, 1.5 out of 2. And now let's get to a very, very exciting round number 3. In round number 3, I was playing against international master from Poland, Kasparov nickname. It's Kasper Drozdowski. And as you might actually see here, the score is now 17-0. It was 16-0 before the game. But let's see how it turns out. So first of all, in the following position, I played king d2. And here, black have a winning move, which he actually missed during the game with 1 minute on the clock. Even in time pressure, like very, very strong IMs are not able to find tactics. And I want you to try and do it and find it yourself. King d2, what you can see, what weaknesses can you exploit. So the point is here, king on d2, rook on h2, and you might actually use it, but playing bishop f3. And the point is now this bishop cannot be captured due to this knight taking this f3 pawn and forking king and rook. Soon I played bishop d6. That's the position we got in the game, and after knight f3 king c1, it turned out that this pawn is falling. Now rook is attacking the c7, and as well as this bishop on c8 falling as well, due to this king not able to go to b8 and defend it, because basically discovered checks are coming. Here, black continued with rook f2, and I won a piece. Yes, that's right, but the point is, few moves later, you know, as you might see, I had very low time. I started blundering rook c8, he took it back, and unfortunately for myself, I just didn't play well enough to make a draw, even though there is 1 second increment. You know, in time pressure, it's just really hard. It is a draw, yes, technically, but, you know, when you just have this time pressure on you, you eventually will blunder, and the game finished with a checkmate on move 76. And the start 1.5 out of 3, but let's get to the game number 4. In round number 4, I was facing against Brazilian FIDE master, and we had Sicilian position, bishop g5, the most aggressive line. Here I would like you to try and find the best plan for black pieces, and again, you know, it's all about dynamics here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it. The plan is quite common actually. So here computer gives kind of few ideas. One of them is to castle short side. But, you know, from my standpoint, rook b8 is a bit more precise. You kind of don't castle as for right now and just try to maybe advance on the queen side and try to create some threats to white. The best move is now queen h3. Let's say king goes to b1, you just continue pushing, and this pawn is coming, and the best move according to the computer right now is to sacrifice. Let's say they go a3, now you can play b4, b-file is open, and it's very tough to play. If they decide to go, let's say g4, to be aggressive, you play b4, knight a4, bishop b7, and let's say move like h4, trying to open like h-file, maybe play g5. You play rook c8, potentially attacking on c2, now bishop d4, queen c2 is a threat, queen b3, bishop h4, you take the pawn and you feel more or less kind of safe. Still complicated position, but I didn't really have chances during the game. The game ended after rook h5, knight e7, rook h8, checkmate. So, you know, after not a bad start, 1.5 out of 2, I lost 2 games in a row, and now let's get to the first round after break number 1. Let's go. My struggles continued into round number 5, where I was playing against WIM, again lower rated opponent, in the following position. I mean, you can find it's an easy tactic. I just couldn't figure it out. You know, it's easy to find it when you have no pressure on you, when you know there is like a winning move, but let's say for me, you can't really expect, like, you play fast, you're just, you know, moving your pieces, but in the following position, white have a winning move. And basically, it's a deflection tactic. This queen now protects rook on e8, and you can actually use this kind of bad square of this queen in your favor by playing c4, which I couldn't find during the game. And the point is, now queen a4 is the only move which helps protect this rook on e8, and now you play b3, attacking this queen again, and again deflecting it off, protecting. This square is taken, this square is taken, d7 square is taken, this rook falls, and I would have won the game, but unfortunately, you know, I played terrible enough and managed to, you know, get into the lost pawn endgame, and of course lost the game 1.5 out of 5. Terrible, I know. Let's get to the next one. In round number 6, I was playing again against FIDE master. What's funny about this title Tuesday though, I think it was like one of the only once recently that I played all 11 like officially FIDE title players, because sometimes, you know, NM is technically not counted towards like FIDE titles, so it's like only let's say approved by chess.com, so we have an opportunity to play in these events. And this title Tuesday I actually managed to play 11 official FIDE title players. In the following position, my opponent, I captured the pawn. I should be not winning, but I'm slightly better. This bishop is kind of out of place, can't really create any pressure. If only, you know, this rook can take b2, then c3 falls, yeah, then we can talk about it. But here my opponent decided to be greedy and played knight c4, and unfortunately this diagonal is wide open, and this king, if it was on h8, yeah, this pawn capture would have worked, but now after queen f6, the point is I win a piece and win the game. 2.5 out of 6, still terrible, but let's get to the next one. In round number 7, I was playing against, again, another international master, this time from Ecuador, 2478 at the time. As you might see, my rating was going down and down. After 2600, it's like going below, so very, very wild game. Now it is a draw, but you know, I was trying to maybe go for checkmate, and here I played knight g5, and I kinda knew that bishop g7 at h8 is coming. And again, guys, look, I had 2 seconds, my opponent had 7 seconds, and you know, we were just moving fast. Because you know, sometimes, you know, some technical issues arise in this kind of time scrambles, and you want to move fast. And my opponent, of course, moves fast and plays bishop g3. Instead of mating n2, now he's actually mating himself. I played queen f3, which is the best move, and now, as you might see here, Evil Bar is saying I'm winning. And look, why I didn't win this game, I have no idea, and I kind of feel bad, because after king h2, I have a straight win. I played queen f6, and now it is again a draw. And now I want you to actually try and find the winning sequence here. And of course you gotta continue checking, guys. This bishop can't really, you know, protect the skin, and I'm not sure why queen f6. Look, 2 seconds. That's the only thing. Like I was worried I won't be able to make a move, and that's what kind of made me nervous. Queen f6 played just to make sure. Like I added plus seconds, so it's like, you know, I was just trying to move. But of course, if I had more time, queen f2 is probably very, very easy to find, because now let's say bishop f2. It's just the only move which kind of keeps white without checkmate. But let's say king goes to h1, there is queen f1, only move here, knight f3 checkmate. And let's say if king goes to g1, there is knight f3, and again, only square is h1, queen f1 is a checkmate. That's how I would have won, but unfortunately I ended up losing because my opponent promoted second queen, took all the material, and I lost the game. 2.5 out of 7. Let's get to round number 8. In round number 8, I was again playing against lower rated IM. I'm not sure why all these IMs are actually lower rated than me, even though they have more experience, more skill, but I guess it is what it is. In the following position, I would like you to find the best move. And it's quite logical, but you know, it's me who is playing with white, so I made the most illogical move probably, and you know, ended up losing the game. But there is like a move which probably you make and you never worry about the result in this game, but unfortunately I just couldn't find it. Basically, the point is it's white to move, it was black to move. I want actually to ask you, what if it was black to move? What would you play here? Because it's you know, it's crucial here. Let's put it this way: like, what is the best move for black? And the best move for black would be, of course, to play rook b8, take open b file under control, because you eventually want to go rook b3 and try to press this pawn structure. Which happened in the game, because instead of going rook b1, playing the best move and actually kind of keeping control on b file, not to worry about anything, I played bishop c5, which is not that bad. But from now on, I mean, I didn't really have chances. Like, my opponent eventually took on d3, basically took everything, and you know, I basically ended up losing the game. In g5, in the 6, d3, I actually lost on time, because like I just couldn't move. Apparently queen d7 still makes the draw, but you know, unfortunately time scramble kind of got me and I lost. And it's actually probably one of the worst starts in Title Tuesday events ever in my life. 2.5 out of 8, and now I have 3 rounds to kind of get back, and let's see what happened. In round number 8, I played against WCM from Mexico, and in the following position I have rook and queen on h file. And in the following position, actually the best move is to play queen f4 and just, you know, get the queen back. But I decided to play for tricks. I decided to play g5. And here, unfortunately for me, black had a very, very strong rook f7, which wasn't played in the game. And here, if I decide to take on g6, there is rook g8, and I'm getting in a little bit of trouble. And when I was analyzing this after the game, I was like, this is a wild line. Like, I would never just go for these calculations. I mean, that's just unbelievably crazy. And rook h1, bishop d7, and somehow game ends with a repetition in the following endgame. But instead, my opponent played rook f8. And why is it a blunder? The point is, I'm not taking on g6, of course not. There is a much better move, as rook on f7 protected this square in h7. Now queen is the only piece to protect h7 square. And now this pawn is falling down, as I have rook e6, and black immediately resigned, since now black are not able to take this rook on e6 due to checkmate. And also this bishop is attacked, so queen d7 trying to defend both. I can play rook c6, I am up a piece, and of course I would have won the game. So after rook e6, the game ended, and I won my kinda first game in a while, 3.5 out of 9. Let's get to round number 10. In round number 10, I was facing again FIDE Master, but lower rated one, and we got to the following position where, of course, I mean, it looks hopeless for black, and suddenly he makes a mistake by playing knight f6, leaving this e6 pawn unprotected. And of course I take it immediately. Rook e6 was a lot better, and decide to take with bishop e6, and soon, you know, time scramble got to my opponent. Bishop g6, h takes g6, bishop e5, d takes 5, rook e5, queen f3, rook e8, and I'm coming with a lot of power. Queen f5, and my opponent simply flagged himself as his time ran out, and I won another game, second in a row. And going into the final round, I have 4.5 out of 10. Can I get to the half-point mark by 11 rounds? Let's see what happened there. I guess it was like day of FIDE Masters versus Romka. I was playing with white pieces, and again, lower rated opponents on chess.com. And in the following position, as you might actually see, I played some London system, kind of weird London. We got a very exciting Kingside kind of attack. I played king h1, rook g1, g4. Like, I'm just trying to open up everything here. I'm trying to take on f5 at the moment. And here he played f4. His plan was probably to kind of maybe not let me take, but at the same time, like, he kind of, and he also wanted to, you know, deflect this pawn of d4 square. So after takes, he has queen b4, attacking d4 pawn, but I have knight b3, and I was like, bishop a4, again he's trying to take on d4. I was like, queen f3, all right, takes, and now of course I strike by playing f5. I'm not waiting here anymore, because like the more I wait, the more troubles I might experience. Queen b2, f takes g6, f6 according to computer was a lot better. I played f takes g6, h takes g6, and now rook a f1. My plan is to double rooks on f-file, bring my queen to h6, trying to take on g6, and just mate this king on g8. It's wide open. This king will probably be kind of safe for a while, but still I gotta be extremely careful, because potential rook might come and checkmate me. Rook e7, rook g2, and now I kind of wanted to do it with the tempo, not rook f2, but instead, you know, for some reason I liked rook g2 better, and now rook f2. The point is, if rook c3, there is of course rook f8, and what's queen h3, queen h8 checkmate, so it's a checkmate right away. He played rook e c7, queen h6. Now this knight is under attack. If it moves, I take on g6. Rook c1 was played in the game, bishop g6, and now I'm threatening bishop f7 checkmate, takes, queen goes to e7. And now I play bishop f7. Now he has to take, and we got the following position where it's not clear how to set up a fortress. The position is lost because I have just two passed kingside pawns, and you know, all I gotta do is just play extremely careful, and I'll win h4, queen c2, p5, queen c5, queen enters. And of course here my opponent resigned. I take on e6, I take on d5, promote one of the pawns, these pawns will eventually fall and I would win the game. I finished the tournament with 5.5 out of 11. Again, not the best results, not the result I really want to get in this tournament. I want to get at least 7 points and try to go for 8 at some point, but it's still a very long way to go. It's very tough with such a position of opponents. Even though they're lower rated with increments, it's completely different game. It's not like 3+0 blitz where you can flag your opponent, you can be like kind of more strategically thinking. But in this 3+1, due to the increment, it's very hard to play. And you know, some people actually like kind of roast me, but look, it's hard. Like, you never played yourself, so it is what it is. I'm trying to be better, of course. But yeah, it's extremely tough. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in another recap next week on Sunday again. Let me know any feedback, comments you have regarding this video. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.